It was a crisp October evening, the kind where the air smells of damp leaves and regret. Black Hollow was a nowhere town. Think rusted pickup trucks, faded diner signs, and folks who knew your business before you did. 4 high school seniors, Jake, Sarah, Mia, and Tommy, decided to spice up their boring Friday night with a dare. The old Carver House, a crumbling relic at the edge of town, had been abandoned since the 60s. Kids swore it was haunted, said they heard whispers from the woods behind it, like voices calling their names. Jake, the cocky quarterback, bet the others 20 they wouldn't spend an hour inside. They piled into Tommy's beat-up Chevy, laughing, blasting Van Halen, and passing around a stolen bottle of whiskey. The Carver House loomed ahead, its windows like empty eye sockets, the porch sagging like it was tired of standing. As they stepped inside, the door creaked shut behind them, and the air turned thick, like breathing through wet cloth. Sarah, the artist of the group, noticed something odd: scratches on the walls, deep and jagged, like something had clawed its way out. "Guys, this ain't right," she whispered, but Jake just laughed, calling her a chicken. Then they heard it, a low, guttural hum, like a voice trapped in the walls. Mia froze, her flashlight shaking. "That's not the wind," she said. Before anyone could answer, Tommy screamed a sharp, blood-curdling sound from upstairs. They bolted up the rickety staircase, hearts pounding, only to find nothing. Tommy was gone. His flashlight lay spinning on the floor, casting wild shadows. And from somewhere deep in the house, that hum grew louder, now forming words. "You're next." Panic hit like a freight train. Jake kicked open every door, shouting Tommy's name, while Sarah and Mia clung to each other, tears streaming. The house felt alive, the walls pulsing with that awful hum, now a chorus of whispers weaving through the air. They searched every room, dusty bedrooms, a moldy kitchen, a basement that reeked of rot, but Tommy was nowhere. His jacket, though, was draped over a chair in the dining room, like he'd just stepped out for a smoke. Except the chair was in the middle of the room, facing a cracked mirror that reflected nothing but darkness. Mia, the bookworm who'd read every Stephen King novel, remembered the town's old stories. The Carver family had vanished in '62, same as others before them. Always in October, always near those woods. Locals called it the Hollow's Curse, said something ancient lived out there, something that fed on fear. "We gotta get out," Mia begged, but Jake wasn't having it. "We don't leave without Tommy," he growled, his bravado cracking. As they argued, Sarah noticed the scratches again, now fresh, like they'd just been carved. She traced one with her finger, and the wall moved, not collapsed, but shifted, like it was breathing. The whispers grew sharper, saying their names. Jake, Sarah, Mia. The front door wouldn't budge. The windows wouldn't break. They were trapped. And in the distance, from the woods, a shadow moved tall, impossibly thin, with eyes that glowed like dying embers. With no way out, they decided to follow the only clue they had. The woods. The whispers seemed to come from there. And maybe, just maybe, Tommy was out there too. They grabbed what they could: flashlights, a rusty poker from the fireplace, and stepped into the night. The forest was wrong from the start. Trees twisted into shapes that hurt to look at, their branches like skeletal fingers. The air was heavy, the ground spongy, like it might swallow them whole. Mia kept muttering about the curse, how it tied to the land itself, how the Carvers had supposedly dabbled in things they shouldn't have: rituals, sacrifices, deals with something not human. Jake told her to shut up, but his voice shook. Sarah saw it first. Footprints, fresh and bare, leading deeper into the woods. Tommy's? They followed. The whispers now, a deafening chant, urging them forward. Then they found it a clearing with a stone altar, stained black with something that wasn't mud, Symbols were carved into it, glowing faintly under the moonlight. And there, at the edge of the clearing, was Tommy, or what was left of him. His body stood upright, but his eyes were gone, replaced by hollow sockets that seemed to watch them. The thing from the woods stepped forward, its form flickering between man and shadow, its voice a hiss. "You woke me." The kids ran, branches snapping at their faces, the ground shifting beneath them. The thing didn't chase it, didn't need to. It was everywhere, its whispers now inside their heads, clawing at their thoughts. Mia screamed about the altar, how it was a seal, how the carvers must have bound something here decades ago, and now they disturbed it. Jake, half mad with fear, shouted they should burn the altar, break the curse. Sarah, clutching the poker, wasn't so sure. They stumbled back to the house, the only place they knew, hoping to hide. Inside, the walls were bleeding thick, black ooze dripping from the scratches. Mia found an old journal in the basement, its pages brittle but legible. It was Old Man Carver's, detailing a pact: blood for protection, fear for power. The thing in the woods demanded a sacrifice every 25 years, and the town had paid it until the Carvers refused. That's when they vanished. The whispers told them the truth. Tommy was the first, but it needed more. Jake, desperate, suggested they offer something else, anything to appease it. Sarah snapped, "You want to kill one of us?" The air grew colder, the shadows thicker. The thing was inside now, its laughter echoing. And then Mia started chanting, words from the journal she didn't understand, her eyes glazing over. Mia's chanting stopped the whispers, but it changed her. Her voice wasn't hers anymore. It was deeper, older, wrong. She turned to Jake and Sarah, smiling, and said, "It wants one more." Before they could react, she lunged at Sarah, the poker in her hand. Jake tackled her, but Mia was strong, unnaturally so, her eyes glowing like the thing's. Sarah screamed as the house shook, the walls cracking open, revealing a void beyond. Jake wrestled the poker away, but Mia whispered, "You can't stop it. It's in you now." She collapsed, lifeless, her body crumpling like a puppet with cut strings. Jake and Sarah were alone, or so they thought. The thing was there, its form solidifying, tall, gaunt, with a face that was almost human but stretched wrong, like a mask over something worse. It didn't speak now, it just pointed at them. Then at the altar outside, Sarah realized the horrible truth. The ritual needed a willing sacrifice. Someone had to choose to die, or it would take them all. Jake, sobbing, said he'd do it. "I got us into this," he whispered. But as he stepped toward the door, Sarah grabbed his arm. "No, it's lying. It always lies." They didn't sleep, didn't eat, just sat in the basement, clutching each other as the thing circled outside, its claws scraping the walls. Sarah had an idea, use the journal's words against it. They chanted together, stumbling over the strange syllables, their voices shaking but growing stronger. The house groaned, the whispers screamed, and the thing roared, a sound that made their ears bleed. As dawn broke, the air cleared. The thing was gone, the house silent. They staggered outside, the woods normal again, the altar just a pile of stones. But Tommy and Mia were still gone, their bodies nowhere to be found. The town never spoke of it, but the kids who survived weren't the same. Sarah and Jake left Black Hollow, never looking back. And here's the kicker. Some say the curse is still out there, waiting for the next October, the next fool to wander too close. So, if you're ever in Ohio and see a house at the edge of the woods, don't go in. You might hear your name, and you might not come.